in different subjects for CBSE, ICSE, and different state boards of India. The company has been selling about 10 million books every year in more than 25,000 schools in India and abroad. Goyal Brothers Prakashan has been conducting seminars, workshops, and webinars for principals, teachers, educationists, students, and parents on various educational and non-educational topics like change in syllabus, exam pattern, career guidance, parenting, pedagogy, coding classes, usage of technology, cyber security, general awareness program, and many more. We have conducted many hundreds of webinars with about 1 million participants in the last 3 years. The technology arm of Goyal Brothers Prakashan, Bright Tutee provides online digital learning content for the K-12 level in a variety of languages for more than 20 educational boards in all of the major subjects.
With this, I welcome Ms. Kanika. She's a subject matter expert, editor, author of many books. So, ma'am, the platform is all yours. You can now switch on your video and present the screen. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vishali ma'am. Good evening to one and all present here, to all students, teachers. So today we'll be discussing about some points on how to prepare for semester 2 examination of mathematics for class 12. So we are already in the end of March and we just have 1 month left for the exams to begin. As we all know, they'll be beginning in the end of April. So now this is the time when students should gear up and prepare well for their exams.
Ma'am, the screen is visible, perfectly visible. Any
Okay, fine, thank you. Yeah. So students, you only have to increase your struggle and hard work, and your success is on your way. So now is the time left where you should just gear up a little bit more and prepare well, very well for your exams. So let us quickly see. You all know what is the syllabus for term 2, class 12th, mathematics. So we have 3 units: calculus, vectors, and probability. In calculus, you have 3 different chapters: integrals, application of integrals, and differential equations. And this is for 18 marks. That is, if I talk about the sample paper also, this will be for 18 marks. Next is vectors in 3-dimensional geometry. That is vectors and planes, if I talk about your chapters, the name of the chapters. So this will be asked for 14 marks. And the last is probability, that will be for 8 marks. So in all, you'll be having a 40-marker theory paper. Remaining 10 marks is for internal assessment. And the total will be for 50 for term 2. So if we look at some of the deleted topics now, for integrals, in the chapter integrals, there are a few questions and exercise in which we have integrals of the type under root ax square plus bx plus c, and integrals of the type ax plus b times under root ax square plus bx plus c. Children, this needs not to be done. So this is not in your syllabus. It has been removed by CBSE as per the reduced syllabus. Also, definite integrals as a limit of a sum is removed from the topic. Definite integrals as a limit of a sum is removed. So you need not study this particular topic from integrals. Next, we move to application of integrals. Here we have to study about area under given curves, under given lines, but area between 2 simple curves has been removed. For example, area between a circle and a parabola, or area bounded between an ellipse and a parabola, has been removed. So when we talk about 2 simple curves, please remember that area between a curve and a line is still there. It is only about 2 simple curves, that is between parabola and circle, between parabola and ellipse, etc. Next is differential equation. So from differential equation, the topic that was removed is formation of differential equations whose general solution is already given. So such questions will not be asked. Also, solution of linear differential equation of the type dx plus dx by dy plus px is equals to q has been removed. That is, you still have dy by dx plus py is equals to q type, but dx by dy plus px is equals to q has been removed. Vectors, scalar triple product has been removed, which is actually present at the end in NCERT. This topic has been removed. In planes, angle between two lines, two planes, or a line and a plane. So you don't have to study about angle between two lines, two planes, and a line and a plane. This has been removed. And from probability, mean and variance of random variable along with the binomial distribution, these two topics have been removed. So make sure you don't, while preparing for your exams, you are not devoting time to all these topics. So this is about deleted topics. Now let's see what things you should remember for your mathematics exam preparation. So what all you should remember for your mathematics exam preparation. So I would say, instead of memorizing the formulae, you should gain understanding of the fundamental concept. Make sure you understand the fundamental concept. You know where a particular concept has to be applied instead of learning all the formulae. You should try to revise every day. So maths is something in which revision through daily practice is required. Also try to set time limit. You should have a habit of setting time limit for solving the questions. You should know that a 2-marker question, how much time should be devoted, or for a 4-marker question, or for a 3-marker question, how much time you should be giving to all these types of questions, so that in your exams you are able to complete your paper on time. So from now onwards, start revising by developing a habit of setting time limit in solving the questions. Divide the chapter according to your ability, children. Now when you are revising, approximately 30 days are left. So I think you should spare 20 days for revision, and remaining 10 days in the beginning you can use for studying the topics which are left. So divide the chapter according to your ability. If you have anything left, make sure you are dividing it according to your ability. Whichever chapter you feel is easy, make sure to do that chapter well in advance, and whatever you feel is a bit difficult, or you can devote a 1 full day for that topic or for that chapter, so that whatever you know has already been revised. Try to link mathematics problems with real life. So this goes generally here. If I talk about probability, if I talk about vectors, planes, so try to link, try to visualize all the mathematical problems. You'll be able to solve them very easily. Attempt 1 full syllabus test every week. So every week, try to attempt 1 full syllabus test now. So you have only 4 weeks left. So try to attempt 1 full syllabus test every week. This is something you must have been doing, but now you should be able to complete 1 full syllabus test every week. Jot down synopsis of all chapters. So what you can do is, you can simply mark, or you can simply write all the important points, the synopsis of each and every chapter. If I talk about integrals, definite integrals, application of integrals. So in application of integrals, in all these chapters, you just have some of the formulae. So make a formula notebook, note down all the formulae, and that will help you in the final revision. Analyze the breakup of marks in questions. So whatever questions you have, make sure you are able to analyze the breakup of marks, because in maths, if you have 2 parts in a particular question, then for both the 2 parts, you will be having some of the marks allotted. So make sure you analyze the breakup properly, and then you start solving the questions. What are the don'ts for mathematics exams? So please do not try to cram the processes involved in the solution. So make sure you apply your logic, you understand, and then you solve. So please do not cram the processes. Do not pressurize yourself by studying unfamiliar topics in the last minute. So the last minute, you need to revise, you need to strengthen your points, whatever you already know, make sure you strengthen all your points. And if you have any unfamiliar topic which you think is a bit difficult, don't pressurize yourself, because in that way it will even be, again, it can be counterproductive. Next, don't study irrelevant topics. Remember to go through the reduced syllabus as we have discussed. Don't solve decades old question paper, children. The pattern keeps on changing. So when the pattern keeps on changing, it will not help you if you go on solving decades old question paper. You can start from 2017, 18, 19 paper. That is okay. But so when I say decades old, I mean, please do not solve 2008, 2009 papers. So because the paper pattern was different, the syllabus was different, so everything was different. So make sure you practice whatever is in your syllabus. Also, do not depend completely on sample papers. They are just for your practice. Don't think that whatever question is present here, the same will be present in the paper also. So they are just for your practice. They help you a lot because mathematics is all about practice, but do not only rely on them. Make sure you even give equal time to NCERT. Make sure you solve everything very well in maths. Don't revise all chapters in one day. Make a proper timetable according to your ability, according to your need. Make a proper timetable and then start revising. Make sure you give equal time to all the subjects. So do not revise all chapters also in one day. Make a proper timetable, give yourself breaks also in between so that you feel fresh and you are able to do your revision well. Don't take stress, sleep well, and attempt the exam with a fresh mind. Remember the phrase that this too shall pass. So please do not be stressed. Make sure you are taking complete rest, and this will help you to be very fresh in your exam. So what should be your roadmap? What should be your roadmap, your strategy in the last month before your exams? So make sure you have solved at least complete NCERT. Make sure you have solved NCERT completely. So when I'm saying at least NCERT, what happens sometimes, children do solve various books, various reference books, and they forget to do everything that is there in NCERT. So NCERT is the base for you children. So NCERT should be solved completely. When I say completely, all your examples should also be done from NCERT. If you think you have left out anything, now is the time to solve them. So make sure NCERT is done completely. Next, solve all examples given in NCERT, and next is prepare notes of your own, which will help you in last minute preparation. A formula notebook may help. So as I said, you can make a formula notebook in which you can note down all the formulae for your respective chapters, and in the last minute, when you're going for your exam, you just need to turn the pages and see what all is there, what all formulae were there, because ultimately you'll be applying them. So that will help you in the last minute preparation. Analyze what you have already covered and what needs to be covered. So make sure, again, analyze means go back, look back to all the chapters, go through all the exercises. If you still feel that something is left, you have remaining 10 days, if I say, for your covering that particular topic. So make sure you go and check whatever is left, analyze what you've already covered, and whatever is left, make sure that you do it before your exams. Solve maximum number of sample papers or practice tests, because maths is all about practice. The more you practice, the more confidence you will gain. So if you have confidence, if you are confident, it will be very easy for you to perform very well in your exams. So solve maximum number of sample papers or practice tests. Also do a quick revision of all the topics by solving the tricky questions. So here the tricky question simply means, while solving the chapters, what we do, sometimes we mark certain questions that, okay, this particular question is a bit difficult, I'll be solving it afterwards. So what you can do, you just go through all the exercises again, see if you have something marked, something that was difficult for you in the beginning. Make sure you do those questions again, because something which was difficult earlier, it is possible that now you have full confidence on that question and you can do it very easily. So do a quick revision of all those topics. Develop a habit of setting the time limit to solve questions. This is again something that we've already discussed. So make sure you develop a habit of setting the time limit to solve questions. Make sure to categorize questions and devote time accordingly. So this is about the roadmap or the strategy that you should follow now, that is in the last minute. How to attempt your paper to score 90% plus marks. What can you do to score 90% plus marks? The very first thing is you should be very well, you should have prepared all your topics very well. This is the first point that I will say. You should have prepared everything very well. But while attempting your exam, you should know how to manage your time. Make sure you use the allotted reading time to analyze your paper properly, to analyze all the questions properly. So if you analyze all the questions properly, you will be able to mark the questions that you already know, and it will help you in solving the paper a bit quickly. So you should use the allotted reading time to analyze all the questions properly. Try to solve the easy and familiar questions first. So when you have analyzed the entire paper, you can simply mark what questions you know and solve those questions first, and then move on to the ones which are new to you. Carefully read the directions given for each question. So make sure you read the directions indicated for each and every question. Make sure you do not miss out any question given in the question paper. So start reading the paper from the first line to the last line and then move on to the next page. Make sure you do not leave anything in between. So carefully read the directions given for each question. Conceptualize the answer before you start writing. So before you start writing, make sure you are able to conceptualize, you know what you have to do. Draw diagrams wherever needed. So this for you, it basically goes in applications of integrals. Children, when you have graphs, I would suggest make sure you draw. Again, graphs are not by scale, but make sure you draw the graphs correctly. Not by scale, but those diagrams correctly. Make sure you are able to draw everything correctly. So this will help you in getting marks when it is about applications of integrals. Write the applied formula on all the steps very clearly in every solution. You do have marks for step also. So make sure you write all the applied formula and all the steps very clearly in your solutions. Even if one step is wrong or you have made a mistake in a particular step, you will still get marks for the previous step or for the previous steps that were done correctly. So make sure you do all the steps properly. Rounding off to be done carefully and units to be mentioned in each solution. Again, rounding off and units. So when I say units, it will basically be in application of integrals, where you will have to write, since you will be calculating area, you will have to write square units. So make sure you mention that, because half marks will be deducted if you just leave your answer in numerical value. Do not leave any question unattempted. Maths is all about steps. So don't leave any question unattempted. Even if you do a single step or two steps in a particular question, you will get marks for that, provided the steps are correct. So make sure you do not leave anything unattempted. Whatever you know for a particular solution, please attempt, please do all the questions. Revise and check your answers at the end. So when your paper is done, make sure you are revising all the questions, all the solutions that you have done. So revise and check all your answers, your calculation at the end. So if you follow these certain steps, for sure you'll be able to score more than 90% marks in your exams. Just a minute, sorry. Okay, so typology of questions for term 2. So term 2, children, you all have seen the sample paper. This is from the sample paper itself. So your paper is divided into 3 sections. The first section is of short answer type questions, which will consist of 6 short answer type questions for 2 marks each. So this is a section containing 12 marks, where you will have 6 short answer type questions for 2 marks each. As per the sample paper, you do not have any 1 mark question. Next is section B, which is again of 12 marks, and it will consist of 4 moderate answer type questions of 3 marks each. Next, you have section C, which is of 16 marks, and this will consist of 4 questions. And out of these 4 questions, 3 will be long answer questions and 1 will be case study, each of 4 marks. So you will have 3 long answer question and 1 case study, each of 4 marks. Case study is further divided into 2 subparts of 2 marks each. So now when you talk about case study, since we are talking about typology of questions for term 2, children, case study can be from probability. So the maximum, or I would say 80% chance, I would say, is of getting a case study from probability, because it's easy to form a case study in probability. So most probably you will get a case study from probability. Also in the sample paper, they have given case study from probability. In section A, which is of 12 marks, you will have 6 short answer type questions. So make sure you prepare all the questions which are of 2 marks. Section B, in which you have 4 questions of 3 marks each. Make sure, again, as I said, you have to have a habit of setting time limit. So make sure you set time limit and see how to solve questions of 3 marks each. And similarly, it follows for section C too. So this is about typology of questions for term 2. So if we discuss the topics, if we discuss the particular chapters, the first chapter that you have here is in integrals. And if we talk about the important topics or the important points that you have in integrals, so integrals is a chapter in which each and everything is very important. In every exercise, you are actually doing another type of integral. So all types of integrals, I would suggest, is important. You can get questions based on partial fractions, integration by substitution. If I talk about 3 marker questions, you can get questions based on partial fractions and integrations by substitution. And of course, definite integrals. So again, I would say there is not a single topic that I would say is a bit easy or is not that important. Everything is very important in integrals, so make sure you're doing the entire chapter properly. These are a few examples, just a few examples of the type of questions that have been asked in previous years. So such type of questions have been asked. You do get questions in definite integrals where an unknown is involved and you have to identify the value of that unknown. So in integrals, make sure you're doing everything properly and very well. Next is application of integrals. So here you have area under simple curves, that is area under ellipse, area under parabola, area under a circle, area in a circle, or area below a line, area under a line. So those are areas under simple curves. And the next thing that you have is area between a line and a curve. So make sure you solve all such questions properly. In 4 marker question, you can get area between a line and a curve. So make sure you solve everything given in NCERT. You solve all the questions, all the examples given in NCERT wherein a line and a curve are involved. So again, here are a few examples, just few examples of the questions that are based on these 2 types. The next chapter that you have is differential equations. In 2 marker question, you can get questions based on order and degree of a differential equation. And you can even get questions wherein you have to find out integrating factors only. So for 2-marker question, the first two are very important: order in degree and integrating factors. Whereas for 3 and 4-marker questions, you will get questions based on solving differential equations, wherein you have various differential equations involved: variable separable, linear, or homogeneous. So the third point that you have here, that is solving differential equations of all the 3 types, you can get questions either in 3 marks or in 4 marks. Whereas order in degree and integrating factor, for sure you will get something in 2-marker section, that is section A. So these are a few examples based on questions of order in degree and integrating factor. Next, the next chapter that you have is vectors. So here you have scalar product, vector product properties. You have direction ratios, direction cosines, and coplanar vectors. So these are few of the important topics that I feel can be asked. Now, when we talk about properties, there are a few properties given in examples in NCERT, or questions that are based on properties and are given in examples in NCERT. So make sure you do all those examples very well. The examples based on properties. Direction ratios and direction cosines can be asked for 2 markers. So you can get a particular vector, or you can even get 2 points, or something that is based on direction ratios and direction cosines. So this is something that can be asked for 2 markers. To show vectors are coplanar, some given vectors are coplanar, or to find out the value of the unknown when the given vectors are coplanar. This is something that can be asked for 3 or 4 markers. And when we talk about scalar product and vector product properties, if you do all the properties very well, you can even get provings. You can get provings of 3 marker, you can get provings even in 2 marks, short provings, and all those will be based on the properties of scalar product or vector product. You can get questions that are based on projection of one vector on the other vector. So make sure you do all these things very well. Make sure to practice all these type of questions very well. Next is 3-dimensional geometry, that is planes and lines. So in this chapter, you have studied about vector and Cartesian equations of lines and planes. So you can get any type of equation in the question. It can either be vector or it can be Cartesian. So make sure you know how to solve each type of equation very well. You can even convert from one type to the other type and solve. Next, the type of question that is important is foot of perpendicular from a point on a line. So this question can be asked for 4 marker or for 3 marker, wherein you find out foot of perpendicular from a point on a line. Sometimes you even have to find the image of that point. So such questions are very important. If I talk about 3-dimensional geometry, basically 3 marker questions or 4 marker questions. Next, distance of a point from a plane, or distance of a point from intersection of a plane and a line. So you can get questions based on this. Again, direction ratio, direction cosines, and shortest distance between 2 lines. So if you have 2 lines given, you can get to find out the shortest distance between the 2 lines. So make sure you know all the equations very well, whether it is vector equation, whether it is Cartesian equation of a line and a plane, and you solve accordingly. Also, children, if in case a question is given in vector form or a question is given in Cartesian form, make sure the final answer that you leave is in the same form. If a question is in vector form and suppose you have to find out some other equation in the same question and you leave it in Cartesian form, your marks will be deducted. So if question is in vector form, answer should also be in vector form. If question is in Cartesian form, answer should also be in Cartesian form. This is if you have to find out equation. The next and the last topic that you have is probability. in which you have conditional probability and Bayes theorem. This is something in which you can score very well now. This is of 8 marks. 4 marks for sure will be from case study, and the remaining 4 marks is for the chapter condition in which you have topics conditional probability and Bayes theorem. Children, this is very easy now. So probability, by removing binomial theorem, mean and variance, whatever is left is very easy. So you will get questions based on Bayes theorem. If I talk about 3-marker question, you can get question based on Bayes theorem. So make sure you do all those questions very well. Make sure you understand the conditions. Make sure you understand the conditions, that if you have to find probability of a certain condition under a given condition, so you are able to identify both the conditions properly. So you have 2 topics here. Again, the entire chapter now is important: conditional probability and Bayes theorem, because that makes up the entire chapter. So this is a short review of whatever you have in your syllabus and whatever topics are important. So make sure you do everything properly, you study everything very well, and in this way it will be very easy for you to score good marks in your exams, more than 90% marks in your exams. So with this, I would say good luck to each one of you. Do the best you can for your exams, and I hope you all will be able to score very well. Thank you. That's all from my side. If you have any doubt, any question, you can write in chat box or you can ask. If anyone is having any doubt, anything.
Excuse me, ma'am. Good evening. Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
A nice explanation.
Thank you, sir.
You have covered all the things.
Thank you so much, sir.
Ma'am, can you share this PPT with us in the mail if it is possible?
Sir, you can drop us a mail and we will get back to you.
Okay, ma'am. It was really very informative, and all the like steps and measures that the students should take care during their exam for their preparation. So I thought it would be better if you'll share these things with the students also.
Sure, sir. You can simply write to us on this email, the email that is mentioned here, and we'll get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Ma'am, I think we have covered almost everything. Sir, we'll share the PPT with you. If there are any further questions, you can ask. Yes, ma'am. I think we have covered almost everything. With this, we'll end the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so